Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you a very simple way to get a beautiful ombre nail. All we need is the color of polishes that you're wanting to work with and this handy dandy little fan brush. It comes in the creativity set. It's super stiff and it works really well with pulling polish through. And I like that it's stiff because you have a lot of control when you're moving the polish. Other than that, I always keep cleansers on hand when I'm doing any kind of nail art work to clean off our brushes in between. And to get started, I recommend painting your nails the lightest color that you're going to be using with your ombre. So in today's case, we're doing I Love You on the nail. The darker color of the two is going to be I Pink You. So having that light base just guarantees a really nice, smooth surface to be working on, and you're guaranteed to have the light color showing through at the end. So I'm gonna show you how to get the gradient effect, but in the least, you wanna start with light polish underneath. It's easier to make light dark instead of trying to lighten up a dark base. So that's my first trick. Okay, so today we are using I Pink You, and what you're going to do is paint the bottom third of the nail closest to the cuticle, just a third. Okay, and we're leaving all of this wet now, so the base is cured, and we're going to do the rest with Lovee Dovee. So you can start in the middle of the nail and then pull it up to the tip. And we are leaving this wet. When the polish is wet, it just melts really nicely together and we can pull it and move it wherever we want. Okay, so now with both polishes applied, we are going to take our fan brush and we're just going to start gently pulling the dark color to meet the white and gently fade it out. So the only trick that I find with an ombre is the tool. This brush works amazing and you just have to take your time. So don't rush an ombre and just slowly, gently pull the color up. So it'll take a little bit of time, but just be patient with it. If you really are not happy with how it's looking, you can just take a cleanser and wipe it off and start again. But this brush really does give you a lot of control because the bristles basically don't move. If you find like you are getting a buildup of polish on the brush, you just gently wipe it off onto a cleanser and then come back to the nail. If you find that your base is fading out too much, you can just take some more dark polish and apply it at the base. And again, you will just start pulling it up like so. And I don't want my tip to be all white, so I'm just gently pulling that pink up towards the tip. And then you can see the gradient that you're going to have. You want it as smooth and as seamless as possible. So I'm happy with that fade. I'm going to cure that. And I'm going to give my brush a quick little cleanse. And then once it's done curing, you can see if you have a patchy spot, if you want to add more dark at the base, if you want your tip to be whiter, if you want there to be more color in the middle of the nail with a mix of the two. So it'll give you a good feel for how that nail is looking, but the base is already cured. So whatever you have that you were happy with isn't going to move, but you can simply add more on top of it. So we'll gauge this one after our first cure. If I'm happy with it, all I'm going to do is top it with Clearly Frisky, and that's it. If I want to add more color, then I'll just do the same thing again, repeat the steps depending on where on the nail needs the color. Okay, so let's take a look. I'm pretty happy with that. So all I'm going to do is take Clearly Frisky, and Clearly Frisky is going to add a ton of shine, and it's just going to even out any little brush strokes that were left from our little fan brush. So this is all cured. That polish isn't going anywhere. Give a nice coat of Clearly Frisky. And going to cure that for 45 seconds, so it is done. And then when you are totally done using your brushes, I like to do this as soon as I'm done any nail art. Take your brushes and just gently remove any polish from the bristles. If you need to roll it, depending on the style of brush. This one, I just kind of like to push like so onto the tip of my finger because like I said, it's quite stiff and you just want to make sure that there's no polish in the bristles. If you do forget to clean them as soon as you're done, take the remover pads and roll the bristles around, and that remover will help remove the chunks of dried off polish in the bristles. But I find this works best. As soon as you're done, clean them, and then you're good to go. All right, so this is done curing. Let's take a peek. So there you have it. Just a pretty ombre. And again, you could do this with any colors. You could go super dark to super light. You could do 3 colors. You could do a dark, a mid-tone, and a light, and you would do the same exact steps. All you're doing is pulling the dark polish in to melt with the lighter colors. And that is it. I say cure as you go. If you're happy with your work, gentle, slow pulls with the polish and a really good brush, and it's foolproof. Happy nail art, ladies.